Hello, and welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a really powerful tool for managing cyber risk, the NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0. We'll break down exactly what it is, why you should care, and how it can help basically any organization, big or small, finally get a real handle on its security. So let's just dive right in. But first, let's kick things off with a question that really gets to the heart of the problem. How can a tiny startup just getting off the ground and a massive global corporation speak the exact same language when they talk about cyber risk? It sounds kind of impossible, right? Well, stick with me because there is a surprisingly elegant solution. To get to that solution, we first have to talk about the people who created it. And that's NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology. Now, you might not have heard of them, but I promise you, their work is all around you. Why? Because they're America's National Measurement Institute. And this quote pretty much says it all. NIST is the reason a kilogram is a kilogram, and a second is a second. They create that precise, common foundation for, everything we rely on. When it comes to getting everyone on the same page, they are the ultimate authority. And just look at the scope of what they do. We're talking everything from artificial intelligence and quantum science to public safety and, of course, cybersecurity. This is not just some IT group. This is a team of world-class scientists tackling the biggest technological challenges out there. And that's the level of brainpower behind the framework we're talking about today. Okay, so now that we know who NIST is, let's look at the problem they decided to tackle, what I'm calling the Universal Cyber Challenge. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you're a two-person shop or a Fortune 500 company. You're a target. That threat is absolutely universal. But managing that risk effectively, that's where it all gets messy. You've got different teams, different priorities, and no single way to even talk about what the risks are. And that, right there, brings us to the solution, the Cybersecurity Framework, which is now in its updated 2.0 version. So what is this thing really? Well, at its core, it's a guide. It's not a law. It's not a rigid set of rules you have to follow. The most important word here is voluntary. It's basically a collection of the best ideas and practices from all over the world, all organized into a super flexible structure that any organization can make its own. And this is the magic of it all. The framework acts like a translator. It creates a common language. It takes all those super technical details that your IT team deals with every single day and puts them into a context that the CEO and the board can actually understand and make decisions on. Now, with this new 2.0 version, there's a really important and frankly very exciting update. They've added a brand new sixth function, and it's called Govern. So here they are, all six together. The original five, identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover, that's the classic life cycle of managing security. But now, sitting right at the top, overseeing everything, is Govern. You can think of it as the new strategic brain for the entire operation. The Govern function is all about strategy. It's about making sure that cybersecurity is no longer just some IT problem tucked away in a server room. It makes it a core part of the organization's entire mission and how it manages risk. This is the high-level decision-making that guides literally everything else. Think of it like the hub of a wheel. Govern is right there in the center. It informs how you identify threats, how you protect your systems, and so on. But, and this is so important, information from those other five functions flows back to the Govern hub. It tells the leadership if the strategy is actually working. It makes the whole thing a dynamic, two-way street. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually put it to work? Well, the framework gives you a really practical way to do this, using something called profiles to build your organization's roadmap. This concept of profiles is so powerful. A profile is, for all intents and purposes, your roadmap. It helps you clearly map out point A, which is your current cybersecurity setup, and point B, your target for where you really want to be. It's actually pretty straightforward. You create a current posture profile, which is just an honest look at what you're doing today. Then you create a target posture profile, which is where you want to end up based on your business goals and how much risk you're willing to take. And that gap between the two, that becomes your action plan. It's that simple. When you get right down to it, everything we've talked about, the functions, the profiles, it all serves one incredibly powerful goal, creating a shared language for security. This is where the framework truly shines. It finally builds a bridge over that huge communication gap that always seems to exist between the tech experts and the business leaders. It means you can have clear, productive conversations about risk, about budget, about strategy, because for the first time, everyone is starting from the same page. And this quote from the folks at NIST just says it all, doesn't it? The dream is to get everyone, from the CEO down to your partners in the supply chain, all speaking the same clear language about cybersecurity. When that happens, you stop just reacting to threats, and you start proactively managing risk as one unified team. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What about your organization, your team? Are you all speaking the right language about cybersecurity? Is that conversation connected from the server room all the way to the boardroom? If the answer is no, or even I'm not sure, then the NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0 might just be the translator you've been looking for.